All right, guys, so JavaScript has a built-in object called math, and this object has a bunch of methods on it that have to do with mathematical operations, and it comes in handy when you need to do things like find the square root of something or round up or round down. There's also a helpful random method that you'll probably use quite a bit. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. I'm just going to console log the math object itself, and you'll see that we have an object here that has some properties. So it has pi, for example, and then a bunch of methods. And I'm definitely not going to go over all of these. Some of them I don't even know what they are or what they do, and I've never used them. But we'll go over some of the common ones. So let's just create a variable to work with for our output. So we'll console log x, and let's say x equals, and let's say we want to get the square root of a number. So we'll do math dot and then sqrt. Okay, so that will get the square root of a number. We'll just pass in 9 here. And if I save that and we log out x, you can see we get 3. So that's the square root. If we want to get the absolute number, then we could use the abs function, so our method. So we'll say absolute, and if I do 5, obviously that's 5. If I do -5, we also get 5. That's the absolute. So we can also round. Let's say x equals math dot round, and let's put in here, let's say 4.6. If I save that, we get 5. If I put 4.2 and save it, we get 4. Now you can also round up or round down. So for instance, let's do a round up, and that's going to be with the ceil method. So it's going to be ceil, like ceiling. And let's put in 4.6, or I'm sorry, let's put in 4.2, and if I save, it still goes to 5. Okay, so this will just round it like normally, and then this will always round up. So even though it's 4.2, it's rounding up to 5. Now you can do the opposite and round down with the floor method. So if I were to do math.floor, obviously that's going to give me 4, but even if I do like 4.9 and I save, that's still going to give me 4. So these are pretty common, ceil and floor. You use those in a lot of different situations. Another one is pow, so it will return the value of a number raised to a specific power. So let's say math.pow, and let's say we want to do 2 raised to 3, then we get 8. Okay, we can also do the min and max. So let's say x equals math.min, and what this will do is return the smallest of 2 or more numbers. So if I do, let's say 4 and 5, and I save, that's going to give me 4. If I do another one, pass in 3, that's going to give me 3. And we can do the same thing with max. So if I were to do math.max and pass the same in, we're going to get 5 because that's the largest of the 3. Now, a really common method is the random method. So let's say x equals math.random. All right, now if I run this, what it gives me, whoops, it should be uppercase. If you just use lowercase, it's going to look for just a variable called math. So you have to use uppercase. So what this will do is, you'll see I'll keep reloading the page, and every load it's going to give me just a random decimal between 0 and 1. Now that's not usually what you want. Usually you want to get like a number from say 1 to 10 or 1 to 100. So what you would do, and what you'll see a lot of, let's use a variable of y here. So I'll say let y, and we're going to set that to math.random, and then if we multiply that by 10, let's see what we get. We want to console log, actually let's just use x. I don't know why I did that. Okay, let's just do that. Now what that's going to give us is a decimal between 1 and 10, right? So if I keep reloading here, actually I'm sorry, not 1 and 10, 0 to 9. Now if I want it to be a decimal between 1 and 10, then what I would do is add 1 to this. So let's just put a plus sign here, and then we'll add 1. Now it's going to be 1 to 10. Let's see if I can get 10. There it is. So it's going to be 1 to 10 as a decimal. Now, what you want to do to make this a whole number is just round it down. So we're going to say math.floor, and we're going to surround this whole thing. And there we go. So now we're going to get a number between 1 and 10. If you want it to be between 1 and 100, we could just do that. Okay. So you'll see this exact thing you're going to see quite a bit, because there are many times in programming in general where you need a random number. And like I said, there's other methods on the math object. If you want to check those out, you can. We might be looking at some of them later on. But in the next video, what I want to do is give you a little challenge that involves numbers as well as generating random numbers with math.random.